on angels. And I'm filming this in the attic of my house as the place closest to heaven in my house. Um, and maybe you're thinking, wow, has Tony actually seen angels? Well, it's true in my backyard. I have a whole bunch of statues of angels, and I feel angels are always looking after me and protecting me. And if you've seen my God shot on saints, you'll know that I have actually been in the presence of a saint, St. John Paul II, and actually knew pretty well someone who I'm sure will be a saint. That's Steve McDonald. When it comes to angels, this video is more how heaven, okay, angelic beings are real. I believe that. And they reach out to us, and they are the messengers and the protectors. And I want to share with you an experience of how I definitely experienced that directly relating to angels. I do a pretty intense presentation on the miracles of the Eucharist, and I do another one on the apparitions of Mary, the biggest supernatural phenomena in the world. Those two categories there, those two topics. And there was a woman down in Florida who was watching my presentations on Mary and the Eucharist and said, you know what? I love the way you present, and there is a place where there's been supernatural phenomena that hardly anybody knows about. And she had been there, and she says, I would like for you to go there so you can create a presentation about it, and I'm going to pay for you to go. So I'm like, okay, chance to go to Italy. That's where it is. Okay, let me tell you a little bit about what it is exactly. There's only one church in the whole world, one Catholic church that has not been consecrated. And it's this one in Italy because it is believed that St. Michael the Archangel personally visited there and personally consecrated it. So here I go. All right, I'm going to go to Italy to see this shrine and to get the story and to just be able to come back and share it with people. I knew it was going to be a kind of complex travel thing because I scoped it out in advance. All right, the easiest part was getting the plane to Italy. But then once I got there, to get to this shrine, I got to take 2 trains, a bus, and a cab ride. I knew that going into it. What I didn't know until I got there was how precarious each of those connections is. That second train ride, okay, out of Rome, there's only one in the whole day that you can take to get that far out to do all the other arrangements to get there while the place is still open. Well, it wasn't my fault. It's a long story, but I missed that train the first day. And I'm only there a couple of days because even though this woman is paying for it, Italy is crazy expensive, and I don't have my own personal money at that point to use my money on it. So I'm only there for like 2 days. So the second day, I get the second train fine, and I make it all the way out to the east coast of Italy, where I got to get the bus. And, geez, I get there to the bus terminal. There is no place or way to buy bus tickets at the terminal. I find out that it's not even possible to buy a bus ticket on the bus. You have to buy your bus ticket at a bar 5 blocks away from the bus terminal. I find that out from trying to understand the driver, and he's giving me the impression he's like, hurry up because I'm leaving. So I race in flip-flops. I'm racing like a lunatic 5 blocks to the bar, buy the ticket, running back. He's about to pull away. I'm screaming and waving and everything. He sees me in his side view mirror, pulls over. I get on the bus. I'm out of breath. And he tells me, like, wrong ticket. They sold me the wrong ticket. And I'm begging. I'm pleading. And he let me on the bus. He wasn't happy about it, but he was my first angel on that trip. Okay? Then I get off his bus to the town right below the mountain where the church is. And I'm thinking, well, okay, this is the bus stop there. There's going to be a ton of taxis to bring people up to the shrine. There's nobody. I'm there for like 45 minutes. Not one taxi. Finally, I'm like, I'm going to miss my window of being able to get up there and do this and then get back. So I wander over, there's a nearby gas station, and I'm like, taxi, taxi. And they point to a street right near their gas station and tell me to go up. As I go up the street, I'm looking for taxis. I'm looking for any kind of storefronts that may say taxi. Nothing. The road ends about 3 blocks up, and there's no taxi or sign of any taxis. Up at the top of the end of this road is an old man with a cane standing in the middle of the sidewalk. Just standing there. And he's all I got. So I go over to him and I'm like, taxi? I figured out in Italian he was trying to say to me, where do you want to go? So I just took a chance and said, Mount Sant'Angelo. He's like, ah. He had suspected that was my destination and he was happy about that. So then he says, gestures to come with him. This man hobbled for 2 blocks, took us half an hour, and he finally arrives at this building. He stands on his tippy toes to ring a bell, and the bell apparently was his friend who had a luxury car that he would use for weddings and special occasions. He'd drive people around like as a chauffeur. So he kind of conveys to his friend that this guy, me, wants to go up to the shrine. So I get in the car and, geez, he knows, he's a nice man. Like the other guy was a really nice man, but there's no English here. And I had no Italian. So he got out of me. I was able to reveal that I was from New York City. And I'm thinking maybe he knows I'm going to a religious shrine. Maybe he's going to play some religious music. No, he's playing the Bee Gees the whole trip. Staying alive, staying alive, staying alive. Anyway, the whole way up. He drops me the furthest point where taxis can go, and the rest have to go on foot all the way up to the church. As I'm walking, it's weird. Everybody else is walking the opposite direction. They're walking away from the church. And I'm thinking, well, it's around lunchtime. Maybe they're going to get lunch and there'll be more privacy for me up there. Well, turns out that I am there and the place is closed. And it's not going to reopen. I think there's only like a window of a month or 2 months of the year where after lunch they don't reopen, and that's when I'm there. So I'm standing there at the front door of this shrine, almost in tears, that I'm so frustrated that I've tried to do this good and nothing has worked out. And I'm just sitting there praying, okay, a rosary, trying to calm myself down. And my friend, the driver, has come back for me on foot. He found out that the shrine would be closed, and rather than leave me stranded with no way to get out of there, he came back for me. So he was my third angel twice, once with the car getting there and rescuing me. And I felt really blessed. I felt I had angels looking after me, working through human beings. More likely than not in your life, the angels are the people that allow a divine inspiration to love, to help, to encourage, that God works through them to touch us. I believe there are supernatural beings looking after us. Every single one of us has a guardian angel. St. Michael the Archangel, I have asked to protect my car, to protect my home. Okay, but what I want you to consider is that you might be an instrument in someone's life. Hopefully, many times, where God can work through you and you be that angel for them. I hope that you're motivated to do that. I know that I came home and I told that woman, I said, I'm sorry, I failed at the mission. And if you want, I will somehow get you your money back. And she became my fourth angel because she's like, no, I've been there. I understand how easy it is for all of this transportation to get screwed up. Turns out her and her husband at the time, he had passed since, but they had to spend a small fortune to get out of there. So she understood and she was like, don't worry about it. So be an angel.